Kempo is my life. Kempo, it isn't tied to a historical master. It's only tied to the reality that we live in. It really is the science of street fighting. I was a gymnast when I was very young, and then I went on to be a springboard diver in high school and did very well with that. And then it was really my fascination with the old television show Kung Fu, David Carradine's show, you know. When they would have the flashbacks, when he was like a little kid and they'd go back to the temple and you see the old men moving around, and I was so taken by that, I really wanted to study karate just to learn form and motion and function. The Perfect Weapon really is the first major feature film to utilize pure Kempo and really to have Kempo expressed the way that Ed Parker would like it. There have been people here and there that have done it. Of course, as you know, Bruce Lee studied with Ed Parker for quite some time and was heavily influenced by Kempo. But this is really the first time that pure Kempo is coming on film.
Well, Kempo is a Chinese term. And earlier when the Okinawans studied with the Chinese, they always called it Kempo, you know, as if it was the mother art. The thing that's special about this is here, the first Americanized version that's been introduced to the American public. Heretofore, it's been Okinawan systems, Japanese systems, Chinese systems. But as a street fighter in Honolulu, I realized that some of the things that they're trying to promote in terms of actual working movements really was not very practical. So I had to kind of revise, create, add to the system so that it was geared for the type of fighting we found in our environment. With Jeff now, there's a lot of the moves he does. He can touch his man and not have the space that normally one would do some of the stunt guys go through. So that's what I like about this. You can get fairly close with this because of the fact that Jeff over the years he's developed control. A lot of times they say, oh, gee, you pull your punch. I don't teach my guys to pull a punch. I teach them to control a punch. See, and there's the difference. They say, well, if you pull a punch, in a real crisis, you'll be in a habit of pulling it and not hurt a guy on the street. Well, that's not the case. If you control it, if you can control a punch from hitting a guy that's constantly moving within an inch from your target, if you wanted to go that extra inch or two, believe me, you can do it.
Is this what you want? No problem. Kempo is an art that's a beautiful system of flowing lines and circles put together in a logical sequence of action. And so it was fun putting together how exactly I'd think a guy should come at me this way or that way. But particularly when you see what I think is probably going to be one of the best fight scenes in the movie is in the crock pit in the bar, where you get to see Kempo taking place in with a multitude of attackers under a strobe light. It's an incredible opportunity for me to be able to show my art the way that Mr. Parker would like it shown in The Perfect Weapon.